New evidence has emerged in the case of a former Joe Biden staffer who has accused him of sexually assaulting her back in the 1990s. Unlike Christine Blasey Ford's allegations against Brett Kavanaugh back in 2018, Tara Reade's accusations against Biden are credible. Unlike Ford, Reade has witnesses who confirm knowing about the incident when it happened. Unlike Ford, Reade has filed a police report. And unlike Ford, the media couldn't care less about Reade's story. In fact, not only are they not investigating it, they aren't even reporting on it. They were willing to believe a woman who had no proof, but now they're outright ignoring a woman who does. So as a fellow female here, I'm just a bit confused on the rules. What happened to believing all women? Or does our only value lie in whether we're accusing the right person? An anonymous woman called into Larry King's show on CNN in 1993 to say that her daughter had had a problem with a prominent senator, but that no one would listen to her. We now know that woman was the mother of Tara Reade, a former staffer for Joe Biden, who says the now presidential candidate sexually assaulted her nearly 30 years ago. Here was that call.
San Luis Obispo, California. Hello.
Yes, hello. I'm wondering what a staffer would do besides go to the press in Washington. My daughter has just left there after working for a prominent senator and could not get through with her problems at all. And the only thing she could have done was go to the press, and she chose not to do it out of respect for him.
Or she had a story to tell, but out of respect for the person she worked for, she didn't tell it.
That's true.
Now, that video has mysteriously disappeared from the CNN archive on Google Play. Of course, CNN says they've got nothing to do with that, and Google says that they don't know what happened. But thankfully, the MRC had found the video in our archive. Otherwise, it likely wouldn't have seen the light of day, even though CNN had had it this whole time. Now, in a world in which journalists still had an ounce of integrity, this would be a major bombshell. A woman comes forward with credible allegations of sexual assault against a presidential candidate, and there's evidence that something may have actually happened. And it would at least be worth reporting, if not outright investigating. But of course, this is Joe Biden. He's a Democrat. He's running against Donald Trump. So the networks are burying this story faster than they dug Jeffrey Epstein's grave. Ironic, considering that they were playing an entirely different game less than 2 years ago. When a Trump nominee was being considered for the Supreme Court, the media targeted him over accusations of sexual assault that lacked even a shred of proof. They didn't just report on it, they created an entire circus around it for weeks. Never mind that Brett Kavanaugh had never once been accused of anything inappropriate during his entire career, including by the multiple women on his staff, many of whom publicly vouched for his character. Never mind that the woman who accused him of assault had gaps in her story the size of the Grand Canyon. The witnesses that she named said that they had no memory of such an incident or of even being at the party that she mentioned. Her facts were conflicting, and there was no record of her coming forward with any of this information for 30-plus years until Kavanaugh was being considered for SCOTUS. Never mind any of that, the media took the accusations and ran with them like they were the gospel, even to the point of pulling Michael Avenatti on screen umpteen gazillion times to accuse Kavanaugh of running a well-orchestrated sex trafficking ring in high school. But now we have Biden, a man who's got a long-standing and well-documented reputation for getting way too handsy with women and young girls, who has multiple complaints against him for inappropriate touching. At least one friend and one relative of Tara Reade confirmed that she told them about the alleged assault when it happened. Her own mother called Larry King in 1993 saying that something had happened to her daughter, but that she was afraid to go public because she feared retribution. Even now, she's filed a police report over the incident, which Ford repeatedly refused to do. And not only are the media pointedly ignoring this story, they're actually helping to cover it up. What happened to believing all women? That lasted about 4 seconds. No one on the left bothered to even consider whether the allegations were credible when it came to Kavanaugh. They just ran with it full speed ahead. And we were all supposed to believe Ford simply because she said something happened, and that was enough. But when it comes to Joe Biden, whose history is sketchy at best, and whose accuser has some proof that she wanted to say something back in '93, not only will the media not touch it with a 10-foot pole, now it's getting mysteriously deleted from playlists. That's convenient. 3 potential female VP picks for Biden appeared on Sunday morning news shows this weekend, and none of them were asked a single question about the allegations against him. Alyssa Milano was so anti-Kavanaugh that she showed up to his Senate hearing with signs demanding that we believe women. Now she's saying that she won't take back her endorsement of Joe Biden because there hasn't been an investigation and we should give men their due process.
We have to find this balance in the Believe Women movement, and also giving men their due process, and realizing that we're destroying lives if we publicly don't go through the right steps in order to find out if an accusation is credible or not.
And speaking of Milano, where's Kamala Harris, Cory Booker, Amy Klobuchar? They all came out against Kavanaugh, but they're all still supporting Biden. Why? It's funny when the rules apply and when they don't, isn't it? When women's stories matter and when they don't. And the goal has become pretty obvious. So hear me loud and clear, ladies. Your story only matters when it fits the narrative. For liberal feminists and media pundits, you are a pawn in this game, and your value to them depends solely on which side you're playing on. And that's your Reality Check, America. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page, that you like us on Facebook and Twitter, and stay sane out there.